All right, let's look at the homework 11.8, problem number 4. All right, let's find the radius and interval of convergence of this given power series. All right, so I'm going to do a ratio test. So you have a limit as n approaches infinity. Absolute value of an plus 1 over an, right? So we have limit as n approaches infinity. All right, so n plus 1. So we just put n plus 1 instead of n. So we have n plus 1 on top. Then we have x plus 8 raise it to the n plus 1 and divided by 4 to the n plus 1 power. All right. Then divide by an, which is the reciprocal of this guy. So you have 4 to the n on top. Then we have n and also x plus 8 to the n on the bottom. All right. Then we can cancel here. You have a 4 to the n right here. Then we can cancel that. And then we have one extra 4 down there. And x plus 8 to the n, you can cancel that with these guys, and we have extra x plus 8 on top. All right, then what we can do is we can pull out something that has nothing to do with n. For example, x plus 8, it has nothing to do with n, and also 4 on the bottom. All right, so I'm going to have absolute value of x plus 8 is pulled out, and over 4. All right, then we have a limit as n approaches infinity. All right, and what's left is, let's see, we have n plus 1 and divide by n. So I'm going to do n divided by n, which is 1. And 1 divided by n is 1 over n. All right, so I took everyone, right? And as you can see, 1 over n approaches 0. It goes away. All right, so you're going to get absolute value x plus 8 over 4 and times 1. Right, so this is it. All right, so we want this guy to be less than 1. All right, then I'm going to multiply by 4. So we have absolute value of x plus 8 is less than 4. All right, so 4 in this case is the radius of convergence. All right, so let's type it in, and it's 4. All right, so let's actually go ahead and double check. All right, submit for testing. All right, it came back and we got the radius of convergence correctly. All right, let's find the interval. All right, so first thing is I'm going to have to turn this into an interval format. So to remove the absolute value, we can write it as x plus 8 is between 4 and negative 4. Right? Then, to isolate x, I'm going to subtract 8 from all three guys. So negative 4 minus 8 is negative 12. And you have a x by itself and a minus 4. All right, so we got that. Then we have to check endpoints. All right, so let's check endpoints. In this case, I'm going to look at the left endpoint. So when x is exactly equal to negative 12. All right, then the series is going to look like this. Right, n goes from 1 to infinity. Right, n over 4 to the n. Right, so we're going to put negative 12, so it's going to be negative 12 minus plus 8 is negative 4 to the nth power. All right, so you can see that this is going to be, so we can cancel 4 to the n, and here's a 4 to the n, so you're gonna have negative 1 to the n. So here, summation, n goes from 1 to infinity. All right, so this becomes just an alternating series, negative 1 to the n and n. All right, But we can do a divergence test on this guy. So you can see that the limit as n approaches infinity of -1 to the n, right? N goes to infinity, and this guy changes sign. So this limit actually does not exist, right? Which means that, of course, it's not equal to 0, which means that the series is divergent, right? So interval of convergence, -12 should be excluded. So you have a -12 with the left parenthesis. All right, let's check the right endpoint. All right, let's try when x equals -4. All right, then the series is going to look like this. All right, so you have a n over 4 to the n, and you have a -4 plus 8, so you have a 4 to the n. So you can cancel 4 to the n, 4 to the n. You have summation, n goes from 1 to infinity of n. All right. Again, we can do a divergence test. So take the limit of n as n approaches infinity, which is, of course, infinity, which is not equal to 0. So therefore, it's going to diverge, right? So -4 is not included. So it's an open interval from -12 to -12 to -4. All right, so let's type it in. All right, interval is -12 to -4. All right, so let's check the answer. Submit for testing. All right, it seems like I lost internet connection, but the answer was correct. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.